Hey, Alpha fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today, I just briefly wanted to go over the market conditions, do a 5-minute market overview because I think we have something on the chart that needs to be addressed. It's the elephant in the room. And of course, I'm talking about that pattern I identified, 1 or 2 weeks ago, which is actually the Wyckoff upthrust. And I identified it on stocks. But what we didn't talk about is how it was printing on the Bitcoin chart. And after talking with my friend Crypto Athena in her group, the AR Collective, which is just a great group, extremely healthy, extremely knowledgeable, helpful people. That's probably the best group in crypto. I love the AR Collective and proud to be their friends. But the one of the owners, Crypto Athena, and I were talking about how this was printing on the stock market, and I posted this chart, and she was like, "Well, hey, Sky, like that's exactly what's on the Bitcoin chart," and it blew my mind that I didn't even bother to check the Wyckoff pattern that I identified on stocks on the Bitcoin chart because here it is, pure as day, like pure as day. You can see this Wyckoff redistribution pattern just printing this last point over here. Here was the upthrust, the Wyckoff upthrust that I was talking about on stocks. And here's the a sign of weakness, right? This SOW, sign of weakness. So as we look at these different, aspects of the Wyckoff redistribution, what we can understand is that we're at a very critical juncture here, right? If we don't have strength returning to the market, then probably we're going to see a markdown, which is basically when you hear other YouTubers and different people in crypto talking about capitulation, then this is what they are talking about. They're talking about capitulation right here, right? This is the markdown. It's capitulation. The market just gave up. Even though we're at a place where we can bounce, we've bounced, here, we bounced here, we bounced here, we bounced here. This has been pretty strong support. If we get signs of weakness here, be careful, Alpha Fam. Like, be careful. We could be entering the markdown phase of this Wyckoff redistribution. I'm just going to jump over to stocks to show you where I first identified this. I believe it was on the S&P. Yep. So it's funny because the pattern isn't that obvious on the S&P. But a couple weeks ago, I was telling you guys this is the Wyckoff upthrust, and what it is basically is, the market's in a general uptrend. There's maybe a healthy pullback, and then you start getting this kind of rounded top up here. And this just says, that's not good. You guys all remember May 2021, right? This kind of rounded top and this type of price action, get that lower high. Things just start looking ugly. There's a dump. This is a pretty big sign of weakness in the market. There's another dump. Again, signs of weakness. And then what happens? Just temporarily, you find support and you get this Wyckoff upthrust. The purpose of this, I shouldn't say purpose, but how this ends up working out is that a lot of the dumb money FOMOs in right here at this support. Just retail FOMOs in. They say, hey guys, everything's at a discount. Let's just all jump in. And so what you get is this kind of Wyckoff upthrust. And any smart money that has, front run this jump because they already read the writing on the wall, they immediately sell up here. Because they already know what's coming. They already know what's coming. This market is in a major correction. And so this reaction rally, this Wyckoff upthrust gets dumped on. All these guys get dumped on. And it's sort of like the smart money's last chance to pick your pockets. And then once the retail once these guys who were said, oh, hey, Netflix is at a big discount. Oh, hey, Amazon's at a big discount or whatever, and they FOMO in, and then the smart money dumps on their head. They test the market again to see if everyone's exhausted. If all the buyers get exhausted and we have this a sign of weakness down here, then potentially we have capitulation, right? That's where capitulation comes next. And so I identified this Wyckoff upthrust because the market conditions suggested that, hey, there's going to be increasing interest rates. The supply chains are being disrupted, right? All of this stuff is not back to normal yet. Inflation's running rampant. There's the war in Ukraine. All of this stuff was pointing to a potential Wyckoff pattern. And I thought, oh, there might be some major capitulation on the market, which could take us to these lower levels. And in turn, that could take, Bitcoin to lower levels. And while we don't have to bet on that, right, we can just trade level to level, or, we can long support and be open-minded to the potential that we could do something like this, right? That we could escape this fate. Just for your reference, the Wyckoff redistribution schematic would have us capitulating sometime pretty soon, right? And this is what I've been warning about. Okay, Alpha Fam, I don't want to take up too much time with this. This is not to say that this is fate. I'm not trying to instruct you guys to do anything or give you any type of financial advice, but me personally, I will have, we didn't see any strength in the market today. And if we don't see that strength tomorrow, then I'm going to assume by Wednesday that this market is getting ready to capitulate, and I'm going to be watching very closely, having stop losses. Any bounce, I'm probably going to use just to de-risk. And then just see like how this week plays out, right? See how this week and next week kind of play out. I don't think that there's any serious rush. People are going to be telling you, oh, you got to buy the absolute bottom. You got to get in or you're going to miss the move. You're going to miss the move. I don't think you're going to miss the move. If the move starts happening, you're going to see it happening, okay? So you don't need to be, over invested right now. You don't need to be over bearish and you don't need to be over bullish. You can just observe. See if there is signs of weakness in the market, signs of weakness. And if there are, then have your plan accordingly. All right, guys, that was your alpha for the day. Stay safe and happy trading.